What's up, art weirdos? I'm going to explain to you how I do my live art setup here today in this video. This is how I do it. Get my painting on there, aim it at the sun, since my back is to the sun. Sunscreen on my neck, hat. That's how we do it. This is how we do it. Ah, that feels good too if you're doing live art out in public, to have this like head shield. People can't see your eyes. If you want to go next level with it, sunglasses from the dollar stores. Get ones that don't really have any color to them, and you could paint with them on. Okay, now I can be showing up to this gig with this hat on and these glasses on, and I can just be my weird kind of ADHD awkward self, and I can focus on the task at hand, which is making art and having fun. Okay, so I roll up, I put my easel up, I put the painting on the easel. I grabbed my little side table thing I got from online website. If you don't have a handy dandy side table, these work great too. What you need to take into consideration is that when you're painting all day, do you want to constantly bend over? Are you going to be stoked doing this move over and over again? You know, are you going to work with the palette in your hand? The 3-step ones puts it even higher, but then it just looks more like you're doing construction. So if you have to do the the step ladder, get a cheap piece of fabric. Boom, your step ladder's covered. Now people don't have to think about your step ladder. You get triggered by it. Okay, it's pretty cool. I just saw this thing over here, like my gardening stuff, and I was laughing. I was like, oh, I bet I could live art with that if I had to in a pinch. So I try to keep my energy fun and light, even if I feel stressed inside, because fun and light is a magnet for fun and light. And you'll see when you start having fun, listening to the music, start getting your stuff out. Oop, it's always a little like nerve-wracking when you first start. I almost always bring a folding chair with me so that I can have little awkward moments by myself, timeouts, or just to eat. So, you see how I'm behind? I put it over here behind so that when I'm sitting here eating my sandwich, no one has to sit here and deal with watching me eat a sandwich if they want to come look at the painting. Does that make sense? So it eases my mind, it eases their mind. My bag of tricks. We have floor mats. I got these at Ben Franklin for $5. I don't put them where I'm standing. That's not going to help. For me, it's going to help if it's underneath where the painting could drop paint. I put it under my easel, and I make sure underneath this is where my brush will be dropping paint, not where I'm standing. I'm going to put my side table in this way, and I'll show you why. Because a lot of times I like to paint at outdoor events, and I like to be in the sun. I don't bring shade. I wear my hats. I take my cool fabric here. I now have this whole area of shade that I can put my paint, which I can carry in this. Like, this is all the paint I need. I could literally paint probably 20 hours out of this. Every single color I have. There it is. Marketing. Okay, if I'm at a mood tribe party and I'm off at a rave and I'm having fun and I'm letting loose, I'm usually not like hanging banners that say my name and stuff like that. I'll do something chill though, like this. And that's because if you've ever sat behind a painting and listened to people talk, a lot of times they'll be like, do you know who this artist is? Who is that? So this is cool too. Every time someone takes a picture of your art, they have your name right there. But if you're at a street fair and you're vending, get a little something with your name on it. This banner here is the perfect width that if I just get a little bit of rope and tie it, I can hang it right here for all the world to see. Sometimes you want to have a little banner there, show people that you're serious, that you value yourself as an actual business. So let's put that away. We're going to rave. I got my palettes out. I used to use palette paper. If you saw my last video I did about this, but I use palettes now. You know why? Because I want to save the planet. Check this out. That's how you clean a cheap palette. This is 99 cents. How long do you think this will last me? A year? 10 years? Okay, so I got my palettes out. I got my towel. I don't use paper towels. I don't like to use, I like to be as eco-friendly as I can. So there's my palette. I have my brushes in a container like this. If you have them in one of those roll-out things, you will regret it. You'll have to find the roll-out thing, put it somewhere, all this stuff. Just get a little bucket. And the cool thing is if you forget your water bucket, you have one there as your backup. Guess what? You're not at a rave, you're at a street fair and you're super awkward like me. Boom, bring your own music. Now we're gonna talk about water, which is so important to me that you listen and pay attention. Class. I brought this water. I brought this container. I am going to put water here. I've never needed more than 2 cups of water, even at a 6-hour painting event, because I wipe the paint off my brush before I dip it in the water. Okay, it's also very eco-friendly to do that. I got my water here. I brought it in with me. At the very end of the day, I'm gonna take my used water and I'm gonna pour it back in here and I'm gonna take it home with me. We pack our gray water out, okay, live artists? We don't leave garbage there. We're gonna come down here and pick our paints out. Oh my gosh, how did I know what colors to bring? Because you already chose the painting you were gonna bring, and then it's not at the beginning. You don't wanna do a white canvas unless you're extremely confident. You brought this painting, so I know I need orange, yellow, I need blue. I could get away with this live art gig, honestly, with like 3 or 4 of these little containers of paint, because I already know what I'm gonna paint. That is a huge hack. If you're just starting out live art, bring a painting you're almost done with, that's in the exciting reveal stage, the stage where you go when you're watching it yourself. And then you only have to bring a little bit of paint. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to paint. Bonus tips: don't bring brushes you wouldn't normally pick at home. You probably won't pick them on the fly when people are watching. Okay, that's a bonus tip. Tip number 2: bring all your caffeine in with you. Bring it in with you. I've never had anyone complain, look at my eyes. I've never had anyone complain about me even bringing 6 packs of Red Bulls in to live art events. Just ask, okay? This is iced tea and lemonade mix. Bring your own caffeine. Another tip: what are you gonna wear? I know that's weird to consider, right? But I'm not gonna wear anything that I would be like worried about, like panty line or anything that's gonna make me feel self-conscious. I'm not gonna wear. So I take my sweater off because it's hot. I have this long thing on so I can just cruise around if I want, but I don't feel self-conscious. I feel fun and funky and empowered. I got my dancing shoes on. That's another thing. Don't do live art in shoes that you wouldn't like go dancing in or go running in, because you're gonna be standing somewhere for 4 or 5 hours. If you're like me and you hear a beat that's really good, you're gonna run off and dance. You're gonna get your dance on. And if you're near the stage, you're gonna be dancing, okay? So just go into it with a mindset of, this is gonna be fun. I'm adding something to this event. I'm benefiting the community. Any kid that watches me is going to be inspired to make art almost more than the adults. Again, packing the gray water out, never leaving a mess, never pouring your paint water down a public drain or toilet, ever. Don't let anyone ever catch you or see you doing that. Just don't do it. Bring it a gray water container and take your mess out with you. Moon Tribe full. If you're going to a rave, bring a really long extension cord, bring a little clip light, and ask to be 20 feet from the nearest generator. Okay, other aspects of doing live art. You know, 90% of my biggest live art gigs have been volunteer. I just wanted to be there, so I didn't get paid. I just wanted to be there, and I got some really cool photos that not only filled me with the confidence I need to have self-worth, but gave me photos that helped me get more live art gigs. So here I am doing live art. Let's talk about a couple things. People are gonna come up to you and you're gonna hear them say things like, here you are painting. You're thinking about nothing. You're having the time of your life. And someone's gonna come behind you and go, oh my gosh, would you ever hang that in your house? Why are the heads like that? So you gotta get, like, it's actually really good practice to get kind of bulletproof. People will stand around in circles and say interesting things about the art and how it's making them feel, and that's totally their right to feel however they feel about it. Okay, so you can just detach yourself from ever caring if they like it. And so yeah, you're free from that now. You're welcome. More sunscreen, more caffeine. Feel free to take lunches while you're doing live art. Feel free to go off and dance. If you're not getting paid, you do not have to work the entire time. The promoters don't actually expect you to do live art the entire event, 6 straight hours. So yeah, take an hour off and go dance and make friends. Let other people paint on your painting. Just get super weird. If someone messes with you or puts a drink on your paint or punches your canvas, just try your hardest to remember this video and me saying it's more fun to just go, interesting, and like get home and paint about it than to like have some weird reaction to somebody at a public event, have the promoter see you have the reaction, and then you also have to deal with the internal mental health aspect of having a public reaction, right? So just use it all as a test of life, of just to be able to stand there and say, you say whatever you want about my art, I'm having fun, I'm out here painting. And when the kids come up to you and say, oh my gosh, like, you're a real artist, it'll make life feel like worth living. so there's that. And I'd say this all the time, but making art reduces your cortisol levels. I'm telling you, I'm the most awkward person I know, and I can do this in public in front of hundreds and sometimes thousands of people. And the cool thing is, you don't have to look anyone in the face. Just make art. Make a raver friend and dance with them. Be kind to the bouncers. Be kind to anyone in the janitorial staff. Be kind to anyone at the event. Be kind. You don't have to be kind to bigots and racist stuff. There's loopholes. When you go home after your event and you sit and you look at the painting you made and you're so stoked that you went to it and that, you didn't let some weird little thing trigger you. So keep making art. No matter how weird it is, in front of people, they want to see you. They want to see you paint it. They love your style. You're sought after. You just don't even know it, okay? Make the art. I'm worth it. I'm worth it.